Hello, Too Clever here. Today we're going to talk about cell phones. Back in my day, well, when I was little, back at the fish market, we didn't have phones at all. There was no phones. There was maybe one phone in a town. Somebody would come on some sort of mode of transportation and let you know there was a phone call, and you would go back to the general store and go to the switchboard lady, and you would contact it if in case it was an emergency. But there was no need for that. You would write a letter and uh, transcript, a letter and mail it, and that was how you communicated and maintained your correspondence with your family, folks like that. Today's these cell phones, they are, in my opinion, out of control. You can do everything now. So instead of having a paper map, you use what they call GPS, which, to my understanding, means Global Positioning System. There's something in the sky that tracks your location on the ground, and they know where you are. Everybody knows where you are at all times as long as you have this mobile device with you. Back in my day, you had a map. You had a paper map. Sometimes the map was 10, 15 years out of date. You used your brain to figure out when you got to the end of the road, even though the map said there was a road and there was no road, you would stop. Now you hear stories of folks using GPS, not knowing where they're going, and driving into lakes, driving into walls, driving off road into forests, off cliffs. No, I haven't heard anything about cliffs. That was a stretch. But the point is, people don't use their brains. They use these cell phones. They've replaced their brains. They don't remember a phone number. I mean, sure, back in my day, you had a 3-digit number, 4 digits maybe. Eventually, somewhere along the 80s and the 1990s, they went to using your area code, which required you to remember your 7-digit phone number plus an additional 3. Still not difficult, not a tough challenge. But back in my day, you didn't have to worry about that. I remember in the 1960s and 70s, you had a long telephone cord, probably 1,000 feet. And you could walk around and talk, as long as it was local. Because if you didn't talk local, it would be more than your mortgage. Your phone bill would be crazy. When they had calling cards, and there was all sorts of promotions, and then cell phones came into existence, and then you would pay for a certain amount of minutes to talk, which is kind of like you did back in the 1950s. Excuse me. That's better. So, the idea, things have changed. We don't use the old-fashioned technology. Now we use mobile phones, mobile applications have replaced maps. They've replaced phones. They've literally replaced Encyclopedia Britannica. Used to, I don't want to get into that. That will be a whole nother conversation, but that's all I have for today. Too Clever signing off.